How long do you think that will take to reach the bottom? 10 minutes? 20? Half an hour? It won't take minutes, it will take hours. Because we're not above an ordinary stretch of ocean. We're above the Mariana Trench, the deepest and most alien place on Earth. And even now, it's still revealing things we don't fully understand. Nearly 7 miles beneath the Pacific Ocean, life exists in a place that should be empty. Translucent fish with fragile bones, crustaceans that survive crushing pressure, single-celled organisms the size of dinner plates. This is deeper than Mount Everest is tall, deeper than any place a human can survive unprotected. At the bottom, the pressure exceeds 15,000 pounds per square inch. That's the weight of dozens of jumbo jets pressing down on every square inch of space. It is utterly alien. Let's go down. We begin our descent. 5 minutes in, we pass 1,000 feet. The pressure is now 445 pounds per square inch. That's roughly 70 pounds pressing on a postage stamp. And we've barely started. 15 minutes in, 3,300 feet. This is the depth of the Titanic. Pressure now exceeds 1,400 pounds per square inch. A square inch is about the size of a postage stamp. Sunlight is fading. 50 minutes in, 10,000 feet. That's around as deep as Mount Fuji is tall. 4,400 pounds per square inch. Over 700 pounds pressing on something the size of a stamp. Above us, the ocean is closing. 1 hour, 40 minutes. 20,000 feet. That's the height of Mount Kilimanjaro. 8,900 pounds per square inch. More than 1,400 pounds on a single square inch of skin. No human could survive this unprotected. 2 hours, 25 minutes. 29,000 feet. As deep as Mount Everest is tall. Nearly 13,000 pounds per square inch. The pressure here is almost beyond human comprehension. And we are still descending. 3 hours, 36,000 feet. Challenger deep. The pressure here exceeds 16,000 pounds per square inch. Every square inch of this hull is holding back the weight of more than 6 small cars. We are nearly 7 miles beneath the surface. And yet, life exists here. We've reached the bottom. This is Challenger Deep, the lowest known point in Earth's oceans. Here, the pressure exceeds 1,000 atmospheres, more than 1,000 times the pressure at the surface, enough to crush steel, enough to shatter bone. And yet, this place is not empty. In total darkness, in temperatures just above freezing, in pressures that would instantly destroy an unprotected human body, life persists. Small, pale amphipods drift across the sediment. Snailfish move slowly through the black water, their bodies soft and flexible, built not to resist the pressure, but to become part of it. There are no coral reefs, no sunlight, no familiar ecosystems, only adaptation. At these depths, biology rewrites its own rules. Cell membranes are reinforced with specialized molecules. Proteins are stabilized to prevent collapse under immense compression. Bones are reduced, structures simplified. Life does not fight the pressure, it yields to it, And we, suspended here in a sphere of engineered metal, are visitors. Our survival depends on mathematics, on material science, on precision. Theirs depends on evolution. This is the deepest place on Earth, and fewer human beings have visited it than have walked on the moon. The most alien world we have ever discovered is not orbiting another star, it is beneath our own feet. But there is an obvious question here. How is this possible when I just told you the pressure would crush a human instantly? At these depths, the pressure exceeds 1,000 atmospheres, enough to implode lungs, collapse steel, distort bone. So why are these creatures not destroyed? The answer is not strength, it is chemistry. Deep-sea animals have no air-filled spaces to collapse, no lungs, no swim bladders. Their bodies are almost entirely water, and water does not compress easily. But the real challenge is not being crushed, it is preventing their biology from falling apart. Pressure destabilizes proteins, the microscopic machines that keep cells alive. At the surface, your enzymes are shaped for 1 atmosphere. Down here, that shape would collapse. So trench life produces special molecules, chemical stabilizers, that reinforce those proteins under extreme compression. They do not resist the pressure, they adapt to it. Over millions of years, evolution tuned their chemistry to match the abyss. To them, this is not hostile, it is simply home. This abyss was not carved by water, it was created by collision. Here, the Pacific plate is being forced beneath the Philippine sea plate, one slab of Earth sliding under another, centimetre by centimetre, year after year, for millions of years. The Mariana Trench is not a hole, it is a wound, a place where the surface of the planet is being recycled into the mantle below. In a way, it is also a cradle of life, because without this recycling of essential minerals, Earth might not still be as biodiverse as it is today. The deepest place on Earth exists because the Earth is not stable. It is restless, alive in its own way. If we discovered an ecosystem like this beneath the ice of Europa, one of Jupiter's largest moons, an ocean world that may contain more water than Earth, soft-bodied organisms, pressure-adapted biology, life thriving without sunlight, we would call it a revolution. Proof that life can exist in the most extreme environments imaginable. And yet, we have already found it. Not orbiting Jupiter, but here, on Earth. The most alien environment ever explored is beneath our own ocean. We think of the surface as normal. Sunlight, air, forests, cities. But the surface is a thin film, a fragile membrane, less than 1% of Earth's volume. The deep ocean is not the exception, it is the rule. Most of this planet is dark, cold, high pressure. For most of Earth's history, conditions like this were dominant. We are the anomaly, not this place. We evolved for the sunlight, but most of our world belongs to the abyss. Outside this hull, the pressure is over 16,000 pounds per square inch. That is the weight of multiple fully loaded passenger jets pressing against every surface, constantly, unrelenting. At this depth, failure would not be dramatic. There would be no slow leak, no time to react, no final message. If the hull were compromised, the ocean would rush inward faster than the human nervous system can process. It would be over in less than a second. There would be no rescue, no ascent, no second attempt. At nearly 11 kilometers below sea level, help is not coming. We are not adapted for this place. Our bones would shatter. Our lungs would collapse. Our biology would fail. Everything keeping us alive here is temporary. Life down here does not resist the pressure. It belongs to it. We do not. We are visitors, and visitors are fragile. And yet, for all of this danger, we have seen almost nothing. The Mariana Trench stretches for over 2,500 kilometers, deeper than Mount Everest is tall, wider than many mountain ranges, and most of it has never been directly observed. No submersible, no camera, no human presence. We have mapped more of the surface of Mars than of our own ocean floor. Large portions of this trench remain unmapped at high resolution, not because they are unreachable, but because they are difficult, expensive, remote. Entire ecosystems may exist beyond the reach of our headlights. Species we have never recorded, adaptations we have never studied, chemistry we have never encountered. In a world mapped by satellites, this place is still largely unknown. The abyss is not just deep, it is unfinished. From our perspective, we are explorers here, not experts. There is no gold here, no oil, no cities waiting to be built, no profit to be made 11 kilometers beneath the sea. And yet, we come. We build vessels strong enough to descend into darkness. We lower lights into places that have never known them. Not because we must, but because we can. There is no practical reason to stand on the ocean floor at Challenger Deep. No evolutionary advantage. No survival requirement. Only curiosity. The same curiosity that carried us across deserts, across oceans, across the sky. We are not adapted to the abyss, but we go anyway. Not to conquer it, not to claim it, but to understand it. And that may be the most human thing of all. If we can descend into the deepest place on our own world, into crushing pressure and absolute darkness, then perhaps one day we can cross the greater void above us. The trench is not the end of the world. It is a reminder that the unknown does not repel us, it calls us. We answered that call here, and one day we will answer it again.